Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
How do you put your defensive player on skates? Crandall shows you how. 5 of 5 to Patrick Whelan from behind the arc.
Oh, Jamell Anderson said, no, my brother. I got some hops as well.
Welcome to the In the Gap podcast. I'm Geno. He's Jamell. He's Pat somewhere over there, and that's Pete. First off, we want to start by thanking everybody who has listened, joined in, provided feedback, shared, liked, commented, subscribed, all that fun stuff. We really appreciate it. It means a lot, and we would appreciate it if you can continue to keep that up. So here's a reminder to give us a like, give us a subscribe, share us, and you can catch us on YouTube and wherever else you consume your podcasts at. So to begin, before we get into the premise of this week's mailbag episode, Jamell and Pat, take us away with the usual weekly catch-ups.
I'll let you go first, Pat.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, man. We've been playing pretty well. I think we're starting to figure out our roles and stuff on the team now. Starting to settle in. And yeah, I think things are going well so far. I got my second technical of the season. Away at Bristol. This one I deserved. First one, I said ref. The first time I said ref, that's an and one. And he gave me a technical for that, which was a little bit harsh. But this time, you know how it goes. Bristol away. Every time you go on the lane, you come out with like bruises. And yeah, I just started screaming. I just started going, hey, ref. And then, yeah, rest was history. So that happened. We've been playing really well in Europe though too. 3-1 with 2 games left, and yeah, hoping to see if we can advance, bro. I don't think anyone really expected us to be in this situation, so yeah, hoping to see if we can advance and keep going in that competition. But yeah, that's about it.
Going through the lane, Bristol away. Looking forward to that this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're still trying to find our feet, really. I think we talk about it on this podcast a lot, like how the beginning of the season, you're trying to figure yourselves out. And I think the Giants are still in that phase, unfortunately, at this point. But it's still early, I think a lot of teams in the league are still trying to find themselves, if I'm honest. Some are just also successful at this point as well. So yeah, still building, man. Still trying to get better each day. The players are locked in for sure, trying to get better as a team. So I can't complain, really. Just got to get on with it, man. Got to get on with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Geno.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little, finally, right? Finally, we got some movement on my end. A little update. A little update from me. Got bought out of the contract with the Israeli team. Obviously, with everything going on over there, just wasn't a situation that I was gonna see through to the end. So got bought out of that contract by a team in Germany. So back in Germany for the remainder of the year. I'm really happy about that. More information will be out soon, probably before this podcast releases. But yeah, being in Germany in the BBO, the Basketball Bundesliga, for the rest of the season with Baskets Oldenburg. So really excited about that opportunity and excited to be back playing basketball. So that is that. Thank you for the congrats and thank you for the horns, for the music. I love that.
That was the Geno national anthem. Whenever Geno has anything to announce, I'll play that.
Salute. But all right, so quickly we'll hop straight into it. For anybody listening that wasn't aware, this week we're doing a bit of a mailbag episode. We wanted to make sure that we engage our audience, our viewers, our listeners, and help make you guys feel a part of the show, because we feel that you are. Obviously, we probably don't do this if nobody's listening. We probably do it once or twice and give up. But we felt that feedback, we felt that love, and we wanted to send that back outwards and make sure we touched on a lot of the things that you guys wanted to hear. So we gave the opportunity to reach out via social media or other channels and give us a list of questions, and we got a bunch. So I think
we got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah,
So I think let's just fire through them. Let's fire through them. We'll start with some rapid fire questions, some ones that we felt like could just be bunched together and we could give quick answers and move on to the next one. And then from there, we got a couple other things we're going to do, but I'll lead us off. First question we've got. Before we get started, sorry, I'm not going to say the names of the people who asked the questions. I think we can do that in the YouTube video. Just put a little lower third on. I don't want to say anybody's usernames wrong or anything like that. So I feel like it's easier to just ask the question and we can write the name down somewhere down here in the video probably. So first question we've got. Do you think the European success of all 4 teams this year will make players, GB and imports, want to come and play in the BBL more?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Next question. No, I'm joking. But yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
100%.
I think we talked about that a little bit last week. Like that's something that definitely I think we feel like is big for the league.
Sure.
So next question.
Sure.
How is the BBL regarded amongst pros when considering where to play?
I think
it's
it's
changed a lot over the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, for sure. I would say it's the land of opportunity. They know that they can play, like we talked about it before, right? You can be in a country where everyone speaks English. Now you can play a level like outside of the BBL as well. So it's a lot of games in front of a lot of eyes. I think it's very appetizing.
Yeah. Real quick,
Very
I would say though
place to play.
the money kind of needs to catch up at this point, I think. Because I think that's the one thing that pros from outside will look at and be like, maybe I don't want to play there because maybe I can get more money over here on average. So, however we do that as a league, I don't really know. More investment, I guess, and more sponsorship and stuff like that. But when the money catches up, I think this league is going to be a really, really strong market.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I feel like, it's a game, and we play it because we love it. But at the end of the day, for a lot of people, it's a job too. And I think that's something that fans maybe miss sometimes, is that, if you're in a situation, right, say you're working whatever career it is, whatever field. For us, it's often a situation where you're on a 1-year deal. So each year you're looking to make the most money as possible, quite frankly. Obviously, you want it to be a good situation, but I think for your average, career, in the day-to-day, you're wanting to make money. Like you're wanting to support your family, you're wanting to do those things. So if you feel like you have better opportunities elsewhere, then I feel like for a lot of people that is tough to understand sometimes. Mm-hmm. But on to the next one.
Yeah.
Let's go with toughest matchup at your position in the BBL.
All right, let me kick this off because I'm kind of salty about this one still. We just played Bristol away, and apparently it's Trajan Jacob. Didn't really see it coming, but this guy hits. This guy goes 7 for 11 from 3 on some of the wildest, toughest shots I've seen, and I'm just thinking, yo, I don't even know, shot. What's the answer for this? When this guy's coming down in transition and pulling up 3 feet behind the line, it's like, bro, what am I supposed to do with this? So yeah, shout out Trajan Jacob, hell of a game, brother.
God, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that right now. Geno,
you don't even have a position. You just guard everybody. So I guess you could just say whoever you want, really.
No, genuinely, that's what's going through my head. I'm like, well, I can't just say him because I've also guarded that guy who's the point guard. But then it was, so it's just the team with the deepest bench, bro. Because
You gotta.
Pat, you know I don't get.
Patrick
You
fucking
know I
Whelan.
don't get to
Right
guard
here.
you. You know I don't. You know I don't. You know I don't get to guard you. You know that as a
That's
fact.
facts. I don't want you to guard me either.
Yeah. No, and I don't want Trey balls in my face all game. So I'll be like, yo, you got Patrick. Yeah. Whoever's got the deepest bench, man. Because
Yeah,
there's
that's
nothing
fair.
worse than like doing a great job on somebody and then they sub him out and the guy that's coming in is, you know, of the same level, if not better. You're like,
Mhm.
maybe I should have let him score a few times. Keep him on the floor. Geno, you? I'd like to hear that answer for you, actually.
Yeah, facts.
Man, for me, when I was in the BBL, I would say I don't know. For me, it's tough. You guys know how I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey,
Isaiah
but
Reese
toughest
was
matchup.
maybe a little tough at times. He had he had a good offensive skill set. You know, I wouldn't say he was tough to score on. And then those London Lion teams kind of just threw a little bit of everybody at me defensively. So it was like, but he was a tough guard. I think Ramon Fletcher was obviously I caught him at the tail end of his career, but he was a savvy, smart player, and it was tough because you know he's gonna go left,
Yeah.
and then he still gets left, right? Like that's
Yep.
in terms of being tough to guard, like that's tough. You know he's gonna go
Yeah.
left, and he still gets there. It's like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Like, you know, that's tough. Outside of that, really. I mean, it's a guard dominant league, but it feels like a lot of those guys are similar after that. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to single out anybody as the toughest. So yeah, I don't know. That's probably my answer.
Right. That.
There you go.
Next question.
All right. Kind of similar vein. I'm interested to see if we all got the same answer because I know my answer. But best Scottish player that you've played against.
Patrick Whelan. Oh, no.
Wait.
Nah, for me, it's Gareth. And honestly, the reason I would say Gareth is because it's kind of similar with Fletcher. It's like you knew what he was going to do, but he still did it anyway. So I was like, oh, okay. So am I doing a good job or not? Like, I'm trying to take it away. So yeah, he was tough, man. He was really tough.
Yeah, I would
Okay,
say
who you got?
Gareth too, but a close. Gareth's my coach, so I can't really not
come
say
on,
Gareth.
Patrick.
You know what I mean?
He's just saying it because
Yeah, he wants more
Come on.
shots. He's like, this will buy me two contested threes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just trying to get more leash.
Yeah,
That's all I'm trying to
my
do with this
answer,
podcast.
toughest or best Scottish player. My answer is Ali Frazier. Like
Ooh.
guarding, having to he screens so hard. That's it. That's like,
Screens.
and obviously he's talented in the post and he's got good touch. He's a good player. I was really enjoyed when he was on our team, but like, nah, man, them screens in practice every day, like, nah.
Best screener
Fuck
in the
that.
league.
Yeah, you know what's tough is
He's like
he's got a good mid range too. Like he's got actually a very
Yeah.
solid mid range jump shot. So it's like, what am I giving up here? Like, you know. So he gave us problems. I remember.
He's a great guy, man.
That was good, Jamell.
Shout out Ali.
All right,
Next
similar vein. Best player you've played with and best player you've played against, and then it asks where and when.
Geno, you might want to like make the headphones a little bit bigger here, just so your head doesn't.
Is it me?
He just texted me, by the way, guys. He just texted me like, Jamell, you better say me.
There's only one right answer.
No, that's the truth. I'm not doing it just because you're on the podcast, bro. I've always said it. Best player I played with, Geno. Best player I played against, Geno. I mean, it makes sense, right? If it's the best player you played with and then you played against him, then, you know, usually it's similar.
That's fair.
Nah, it's the same thing, bro. It's like when you're guarding someone and in like the way I guard people, it's like, okay, what can't you do very well? I'm going to force you into that. It's tough when somebody doesn't do many things not very well. Like, the best thing to do with Geno is like literally just foul him. Get like, you know what I mean? Make it hell. Because if you just play him straight up, I mean, it's gonna be a long night. So, or it could be a long night. So, yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's a lot of teams' game plans, and I hate it so much, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is the best thing to do. Like, I might be giving the scout on myself, but it's like, because the ref's not gonna call every foul, right? So if you're just sitting there hitting me the whole game, like, I'm just gonna be like, yo, what the man? Come on. Can we play basketball?
No, we can't. You play it better than everyone. We don't like it.
That's funny. That's funny. I'll go. Best player I've played against, for sure, Zion Williamson. In college, like, he was in college at Duke, he was just on a different level. Like, the efficiency, the athleticism. Obviously, at that point, like, the shot making wasn't really there. He was decent from certain spots, but not really a 3-point threat. But everything else he did so well. Defensively, covers so much ground. So athletic. That literally, you're just out there and you're like, yeah, I get it. Like, I didn't get it at first. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get it. I was like, yo, is this dude that skilled? Like, I don't know if he's gonna. And then we played them in, like, it was November. I think it was like right before Thanksgiving, so maybe like mid-November or something. And then I was like, no, he is. I get it. I understood right away. I was like, yeah, he is that good. Okay, my bad. My fault.
Hey, shout out Hoops Fix. They just sent me the Zion 3s.
Yeah. Are they good? I've seen them. They look like his best shoe so far. The first two, I wasn't ready.
They do look good.
The first two were
good looking shoe.
They look fire. When you look down at your feet and you're like, yeah, I'm certified today. Yeah, that's what kind of shoe it is. Yeah. Shout out Sam. My boy.
For me, aside from anyone on this podcast, because obviously you guys have both been my teammates, and obviously I would say both of you, right? Aside from that,
obviously,
for me, it's this summer I got the chance to play with a point guard named Khalil Ahmad, who now plays in Belgium. And this guy is just like the most nonchalant, like, give you a bucket basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Like, just it's almost like he has no idea how good he is, and he's just like freestyling out there, and he's just like, you know what, yeah, let me shoot this shot, like, boom, cash. It's like, yeah. And then he just runs back like it's normal, like. So yeah, Khalil was very tough, and played against. I mean, Kristaps Porzingis is pretty good. Obviously, we played against him, Jamell. He killed us. And like, I could say Sabonis. Like, I played against Domantas Sabonis when I was a kid, or when I was like U18s. But for me, it's the Greek shooting guard. Maybe it's just because it was like a direct matchup, but Kostas Sloukas is a very good basketball player. Like, every time he shot the ball, I'm like, damn, that's going in. Like, so yeah, that was for me best player I played against, in my opinion.
Yeah, Sloukas is good. He's real good.
After Big Mike, like, that's what P said.
Yeah.
After Big Mike,
exactly. Yeah, after Big Mike. Yeah.
We gotta start putting some respect on Big Mike's name.
All right, next one. We've got what was the inspiration to start the podcast? I feel like we talked about this a little bit before, but just give a quick answer.
Yeah, quick answer for me. I'm trying to give opportunity for people to learn. Like we said, we might spark a thought in somebody's mind that helps them in their life or their career in basketball. So yeah, that for me is that in a nutshell.
For me, trying to be like as real about professional basketball as we can be, and teach people what it's really like. And, you know, if we can help someone who's trying to be a pro, or someone who is a pro already, or whatever, that's just a bonus for me. So yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a podcast, man. Not gonna lie. I don't have any altruistic purpose. I don't have any important stories to tell. I just wanted to get on here and talk shit.
You got a lot of stories, bro. Stop lying.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk shit.
P-Man?
Talk shit with my mates.
Yeah, similar for me, really. I guess you three all wanted to do a podcast, so that was it. Here I am.
I'm in.
There you go.
I'm in. Sign me up.
Next question.
All right, this is a good one, but I don't know if I'm gonna answer because I feel like it's not gonna give the message that I want to give. But what were your grades like, and how did you balance schoolwork and basketball?
Go ahead, P.
Well, my grades were good, always good. Yeah, surprisingly, I spent a lot of time obviously playing basketball, but yeah, I've never really had a problem in the classroom. The worst thing I did was in college where I didn't go to class, but my grades were still good. So
Smart.
short
Way
answer,
smart.
short and sweet.
Straight A student. I started off bad, I'm not gonna lie. When I first started playing basketball and I got addicted, everything else kind of fell to the wayside. Like I was like, nope, not interested in school, not interested in grades. I just want to play basketball all the time. I remember once, this is no word of a lie, we had a class, right, where I was sat outside the window, like probably about 2-3 meters, was the basketball court in school, like the outdoor one. And we had a supply teacher, and I took advantage, bro. I'm not gonna lie. As soon as she turned her back, I was like, I'm just going to the toilet. Took my ball. Everyone's giggling because they know what I'm doing. Went out. I just started hooping on the court, bro. Like mid-class. That was me. Like, do not do that. Like, disclaimer, no one should be doing that. But yeah, bro, I left school with probably like 2 GCSEs, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think one was PE. I think the other one was like, in fact, I think it was German. So that was it. That was me. That was my grades, bro. So when I got to college, I was like, oh. So I had to do my GCSEs all again. And from that point, straight A student. Well, maybe not straight A, but I passed everything. And shout out Loughborough University, man. Got my degree from there. So yeah, they improved when I realized how important it was. Sorry for the long answer.
No, it's good. I wasn't gonna say nothing, so you just covered my time. With the nature of professional sports, you all will have had to add a lot of teammates and coaches. How do you keep in touch with all of them? I'll just start. I don't keep in touch with all of them. I think just from a career perspective, like it's the same as working a job anywhere. You're probably not gonna keep up with all your coworkers. You might have guys who, again, you just were closer with, or you developed a longer standing relationship and then you keep in touch with them, or there might be some people that you still care about, but you just don't keep in touch, check in every now and then. So I'll say that's pretty much how it goes with teammates and coaches.
100%.
I think that's been a good thing about the pod, is that you three have kind of kept in touch, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Geno never texts me, like not once.
That's not true.
Even asked how I was doing ever.
That's not true.
Which is kind of messed up. You know what I mean? Like, supposed to be friends.
That is
I had a
so
baby.
not true.
I didn't get no
I was gonna say no.
congratulations.
Yes, you did. I swear to I will pull it up right now. I promise I did.
Yo, commenting on the photo does not
that's
count,
funny.
bro. Or liking the photo, that does not count. Hit
That's
me up,
that's
call
fair.
me. Yeah,
There's
That's fair.
interaction,
send me
Instagram counts.
right. No, it doesn't. It does not count. Yeah, I mean, I stay in touch as much as I can. Like Geno said, there's some coaches that you just like, it was all business, bro. And then there's others that you have kind of a relationship with, like I'll always get along with Rob. We had a lot of history, a lot of good things happened when I was there. So yeah, I try to stay in touch as much as I can. But in the same breath, I'm still playing against some of these guys. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I will say,
Yeah.
actually, we played against Jabril this weekend. Jabril Adekoya and the Sheffield Sharks, and it's so weird. Like, I messaged him. I was just sending him some music the day before, and I was like, "Damn, we're about to play. We're about to play against each other tomorrow." I completely forgot. And then when you see them like on the sideline actively cheering against you, and you know how Jabril is. Jabril talks a lot of trash too, so he's like talking trash to my teammates, bro. I can't keep it together. I'm like cracking up. So, Yeah, that's the crazy
That's
part
funny.
about playing against the people you know.
Shout out Jabril, man. I don't really know Jabril like that, but I mean, there's a common respect there. And last time we played them, he said, "Look, I like the podcast, man." So I respect that. I mean, we were down 15 at the time, so I was kind of like, "Shut your face," but I appreciate it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, last two, I'll just bundle them together. Will Geno ever return to the BBL, and would Geno join Leicester Riders again? I mean, I don't know. I can't say no. I don't know what the future holds. Could possibly. Yeah, maybe. I would love to give a more detailed answer, but I can't. You know, some team could come in and say, "Hey, we'll give you X amount of pounds," and I'll say, "Oh, hey, I'll give you X amount of games." Then come on, let's do it. And I don't know, or could not. You'll never know. Never know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna do it for our rapid fire segment.
Question 8: Will you talk to your coach in Germany about bringing Jamell and Patrick with you so that they can also get the bag? Over to you. She knows, like, where's that
I think mine forgot to print.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. My bad.
Who asked that? Best memories of junior basketball. One of my best memories of junior basketball is getting not my first jersey, but the team jersey at school. First game, and I put it on, and it was like a dress, bro. It's just like hanging off me, and I was like, this isn't what I envisioned. In my head, I was going to look like LeBron James in this jersey, and I don't. So I'll never forget that because I was so disappointed with how I looked. But I still love the game, man.
That's good.
You guys, you got some good junior basketball memories?
I got a good memory for you guys. I don't know if it's early junior / college.
Okay.
We were a very successful junior basketball team. The Manchester Magic program was very successful. We had a great team. We started with 5 players who all played for the national team, right? So it was me, it was my boy Faro, it was Joe Swindles, Kingsley Weboso, you guys probably both played against, and Aaron Menzies. Solid team, right? Average height of that lineup is probably like 6'8". It's like 6. It's like a 6'8" average height. For junior basketball too, it's kind of crazy. We were all like 17 at this point. And I have here. So Faro came to play with me at William Jewell for my senior year because I talked to the coach. I was like, "Yo, you got to get this. You got to bring this guy in." So Faro came to play with me. Our combined record of me and Faro on the court together. Are you ready for this? He put it in Instagram. I just found it. Our combined record is 151 and 18. That might need to be fact checked, but that is the ballpark that we're talking about. So, shout out Manchester Magic. Shout out William Jewell College.
Doing work.
That's a lot of wins. 151 and 18. Like, yeah.
Hey.
That's crazy.
Peak for these men in the junior national league, bro. So peak.
That's crazy. Yeah, for me, I don't know if I have anything specific. I just like the biggest things that pop up memory wise is just, and obviously we have a different structure in the States. So I'll just talk about like AAU and traveling basketball is just like hanging out, honestly, like just spending time with your boys. You know, we were at tournaments where you're at the tournament all weekend. You know, you get to the gym at like 9 a.m. The last game he plays is probably like 5 p.m. So in between games, you're just hanging out, right? Doing whatever, sitting there, talking about girls, you know, watching other games, talking about TV shows, movies, whatever, like just hanging out was always is what stuck with me the most in those relationships. So that's probably my best memories.
Yeah, that's an important part, man.
Hell yeah.
I think some parents may or may not know that, but you find yourself in those moments, man.
Mm-hmm.
You really do. Pat, any of these questions particularly take your eye?
For me, who has been your biggest influence or mentor in your basketball career, and how have they impacted your development as a player? for me, this is very specific. My coach in college, the legend, Larry Holly, may he rest in peace. He was, for me, like the biggest influence in my basketball career. Like, I would say by far. Just like the way he approached like the sport and like brought teams together, and the way you just enjoyed every day around him. Brought energy, even though he was what 70, 75 to 77, 78 when I was in college. Just brought energy, bro, and just showed me like this is how much you need to love the game to be like successful. Like he loved basketball more than anyone I've seen. So he really impacted me, and taught me like what it is to love basketball. Every day you'd go in, right? He'd be there. He had this like big ass McDonald's cup of sweet tea that he'd drink every day, most American thing ever. And he just ask you how you were, like how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And then like as soon as you got on the court, he'd be like, okay, this is all about like having fun and like enjoying your time here. So he taught me how to be like a confident basketball player and play with like that joy that not a lot of people can play with anymore. Like a lot of people, stress too much about it, but yeah, he brought out that joy for sure.
That's what I mean, man. There's a lot of people in a basketball career that can influence you, man. I think that's huge. It's not always basketball. For me, it's my parents, bro. Like my mom, working so many jobs when I was a kid. And the balance of my dad, who's like fourth dan in karate, like super committed to like making sure his body is at the top of the fitness scale every day. The balance of those two created me. So yeah, my influence has always been my parents. It just so happens that basketball is where I kind of put that influence, shall I say. What about you, Geno?
That's a dope answer, not gonna lie. Mine's a little similar. I would say like my biggest, or person I'll consider the biggest influence is the person that kind of set me down this basketball path, and that'll be my dad. He's my first coach. He had coached other teams like when I was really young, and so that's what introduced me to basketball. And kind of was like, yo, I love this. Like, this is everything I'm looking for in life, And then again, just setting me down that path, and was my first coach, and taught me the basics of basketball, and has been a huge supporter ever since then. So that, for me, that's a no-brainer. Like, if it's just the biggest influence, like how could there be a bigger influence than the person that was here? Like, hey, here's a basketball, try this. So for me, that's mine.
But there's a bunch, right? Like, let's
yeah.
not.
There's a no.
Let's not disrespect a
That's
bunch
not
of
to say
people
there's
here.
not a ton. There's a ton of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's something we
Facts.
can even
For all of
even
us.
get into in
Facts.
a later episode, because I got a million people
It's a long list.
that deserve shout outs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
shout out my
that's
parents.
a
I
good
feel like
point.
I'm the only one.
Let me make sure to not miss.
I'm the only one who didn't mention their parents. So damn,
Pat can't
Mike and
can't
Catherine
go home
Whelan,
for
you
Christmas.
Big Mike.
You did an amazing job, Big Mike, Catherine. Hey, if you're listening,
Nah, Big Mike's
probably
already
not.
cut off the episode, bro. He's not listening anymore. He cut it off when you finished talking.
God damn.
Oh man,
That's funny.
that's
bro.
really funny.
Jordan, he cut it off. He was like, forget this episode.
Yeah,
Episode 4?
yeah.
Nah, forget it.
All right, one that stands out to me. I've got So we've got a question that says, talk about a time in your basketball careers where you had the most serious doubts of your abilities or humbling moments, and how you overcame that, if you did, or if you're still down about it to this day.
Oof, that is a deep question.
Yeah, I'll lead off because I got when I was in college, right, I had a really good college career my first 3 years at a smaller college, and then transferred to Gonzaga University, super big time program, NBA players all up and down, great history, great coaching staff. And, I got there late because I still had to finish up some of my college courses at my other school before I was allowed to transfer. And that was completely my fault, not handling business the way I needed to when it came to school. But finally got there. I think maybe like 2 weeks before, maybe 3 weeks before the first regular, like the first game. So didn't really have a lot of time preseason to do anything. So then I came in and I struggled a lot. My first few games, I didn't shoot the ball well, which is where I think my struggles were the most apparent. I think I started the season like maybe 3 for 30 or something from the 3-point line. And then we played in Maui. We won the Maui championship, and I played okay in our last game against Duke. I should say I played well. I didn't score a lot, but I felt like I did kind of the things in my time on the court that I was supposed to do. And then we came back, the first practice back, I break my hand. And so I'd say like during that stretch, like the beginning of the season, like I really, really had doubts about like, okay, I transferred, am I actually this level of player? Because I had always, like, again, I had a really, really good college career up to that point. And was a highly touted transfer. Like my transferring was a big deal. My transferring to Gonzaga was supposed to help us, be a serious national title contender. And then I went and I struggled initially. And so like the timing of that struggle, if you struggle when you've already established yourself, I feel like it's like, okay, I'm just in a slump, But when you make that change and then a struggle, I genuinely like had thoughts about like, okay, am I as good as I thought I was? And once I came back, I started to play better, had some better games. My hand, like my shooting was still messed up for basically the whole year. Like recovering from a shooting hand injury was no joke. And then I feel like even when I was starting to play better, like I still had those thoughts in my mind. So it was a bumpy year for me, but I think it also like in long term helped. You develop kind of a mental edge, mental toughness, and you figure things out. And then you add it, to your game. Or it was probably like now I consider myself a really good defender. It was probably the year where I bought into defense the most because I wasn't playing as well offensively. I'm like, I got to play defense. You want to stay on the court, got to guard then. So I would say that like that for me was a serious moment of doubt in myself. And the only way I overcame it, I had great teammates and great coaches that kind of helped to continue to instill confidence in me. But I don't know, I just kind of stuck with it mentally, I guess, is the only way I overcame. There was no thing I did. There was just me telling myself, like, I can't quit. Like, can't let it get to me. Can't make it stop me from playing basketball.
I think people think it is like kind of plain sailing, don't they? Especially like when you're playing well or you're known to be a good player. They just assume that like because you've played well and you're a good player, that now you'll always be a good player and you'll always feel good about yourself. I have no problem admitting it, especially with the mental health time as well. For me, it's constant, bro. Like all the time. It doesn't necessarily seep into like what I do or like my actions. I'm always questioning things, like always. I hear what people say. I've got my own voice in my head. Like it's constant. But I think the biggest lesson for me was like, that doesn't mean it should affect what you do. Like if you're going into a game and you're nervous, fine. You still go out there and play the game. You still go give it everything you got, right? So like you just said, if you're injured and you're coming back from injury, yeah, you're probably going to have some doubts. Like you're probably going to be worried about your performance. For me, it's when you have a great game. It's the one after that. It's always like, oh, okay, I got to prove it wasn't a fluke. I've got to do the same thing again. All that is just noise, man. Let it be there, and you still have to go out there and do your thing. Pat, is smiling. Why are you smiling, Pat?
100%, bro. Like, I think it's funny because everyone's experienced it, and like you said, like the mental side of the game is almost like as important to me as taking care of your body and like the way you treat like your preparation and stuff. Like for me, that's like as important. Like quick story, when I was in Spain, my third year in Spain, I was playing terrible. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, what is wrong? Like, my body's healthy. I feel good. Going into games, but for whatever reason, not performing. And it went on for a while. I was playing well in practice, doing well in practice, whatever. And then come to the game, like, just couldn't get it right. And my point guard's like, have you ever like spoke to anyone? Like, do you have like a sports psychologist you speak to? I'm like, no. I was like, I'm 24 years old. Like, no, I don't. I'm like, I've always been good. And bro, like, my point guard looked at me as if I was an idiot. He was like, bro, like, all the best players have sports psychologists. Like, what are you doing? He's like, look, he said, I'm gonna set you up with this guy that I know he speaks English, all this. He's like, yeah, let's start there. And to this day, like, I would say that's the biggest thing that changed in my career to like really propel me forward. Because at that point, like, I wasn't playing great. I wasn't involved in any of the stuff I was involved in now, on terms of like playing at a high level. And yeah, for me, that was the biggest thing that moved the needle with like how I approach games and stuff, and with playing at a high level. That was by far the biggest thing. But for real, shout out my boy Alfonso. He's been great for me. That's my biggest thing for young pros. I would say, have someone that you can talk to about performance and about how to approach games really, and about your routine and stuff like that.
Reach out, speak to people, make sure your support system's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supporting this charity this month for the Movember campaign. It's obviously about awareness for men's mental health. So I think, as friends, as teammates, we always talk to each other and make sure we're okay. But I wanted to kind of spread how I do it, which is when I check on someone, whether it's good or bad news, making sure they're okay. I always try to kind of like reconnect again. So if somebody kind of gives me a hint that maybe something's not quite right, or something's going on at home or whatever, just try and check in with them again, make sure they're okay, like a week later, a couple of days later, and try not to just leave them kind of on their own with that situation. Just that's how I do it. And I'm thankful to be able to support STEM 4 in this Movember campaign. Hey, that could, I'm using Geno's word here, segue into one of the questions, which is about support. Talk about family support. What was the one thing or many that family did to support you during your high school / college careers that really stuck with you? I'm going to add to that question as well and say pro career. I think it's a great question and gives us all a chance to rebuttal from earlier when we didn't give everyone a shout out that deserved.
Yeah, let me get some redemption here. Shout out Big Mike. Big Mike is my dad, Mike Whelan. Shout out Catherine Whelan. The biggest thing that they did for me was probably when I was a kid, like, the amount they had to drive was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I think my dad, there was times when, my brother practiced on a Tuesday, Thursday. I practiced on a Monday, Wednesday. I'd play on a Friday. And then we both play Saturday, Sunday. And there was one time where he had a schedule, like, he'd go take us to practice, go get food, go shop at Costco, come back, pick us up from practice, drive back. And it's like, bro, at that point, he must have had like no life. So shout out to Mike Whelan, because that is like the biggest sacrifice, like sacrificed all his time for real. So yeah.
I want to give a shout out, man. There's a lot of people along the way, family, friends, coaches. One of them's on this call. Shout out Pete. You need the support, and I feel like for those that are listening that are the support for players, whether they're professional, kids, it's huge. And as a kid, they might not show their appreciation, but trust me, when they get older, they remember everything. They remember everything. So please keep being an amazing support to these guys. They need you, even if they don't show it. They need you, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that kind of just, leads into my answer to the question. My family, I feel like I was always so appreciative to anybody that traveled, like, to watch a game. So then obviously it makes me think about like college more because when you're younger than that, we didn't travel as much. Like we went to tournaments and stuff, but high school, we were playing a lot of games around the city and whatnot. But college, I constantly had family that was coming, whether when I was at North Dakota driving up to watch games, just hang out for a weekend and just be around. Like you said, at the time, maybe we don't always express it the way we should, but like I'm so appreciative for that. Or anybody that came to see me when I was playing at Gonzaga and flew out. It's just, I don't know, when you see other people like that take joy or find joy in the thing that you love, and maybe they don't find joy in it, but they find enough joy in you, living that, so maybe it could be somebody who didn't even know they were into basketball, but like, hey, I'm gonna come watch because you play basketball. Was always just super, super, like my mom don't know nothing about basketball to this day. She still don't, not gonna lie. But like she would come to games, she see the ball go in the hoop, she'll clap. You know what I mean? Like she don't know nothing about basketball at all, but she sees you smiling and happy, she's gonna be happy. And that goes for a lot of people in my family. I had a lot of people that would come out to support, and I wish I could go on and give everybody, but everybody they know, and they know how appreciative I am. So,
and hey, let's be real. Like the people that come to watch the games, like I don't think they get enough love and respect, especially in this country. One of the questions on here was, how would you? Obviously, the league has improved a lot over here. And what suggestions would you have to keep that going and improve it more? For me, it is the fans. Like they are amazing, and I think I hope they understand that their consistency of supporting a team through thick and thin makes a difference. Like without the fans, there is no BBL. Like it's that old sign that you used to see. We need you. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's the truth. We need these guys. We was in Newcastle. Obviously, we're on a bad streak right now of losses. And I seen this woman screaming, bro, throughout the game. And I'm like, oh, man, these Newcastle fans are honest, bro. And after the game, I was talking to my coach, the assistant coach, Paul. And that same woman was stood to my right. And I was like, oh, here we go. She's like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I'm just talking to my coach. Like, we literally was like having a conversation about the loss. And she's like, oh, come on, I came to support you guys. And I was like, oh, you're a Giants fan. She's like, yeah. I'm like, sick, let's take a picture. But her and there was two other guys as well. Like, we need you, man. We really do. We appreciate the efforts that you made to come to our games. So, yeah, man, shout out to fans, man. A big part of the support network.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That's a good question. I didn't think about that too much. But what else do you think needs changing to take the level up of the BBL? That's maybe a good one. Fan support. I think if you look at a lot of the successful basketball countries, there's a strong contingent of fan support. Up and down the leagues, from the bottom level teams to the top. There's constantly full crowds or close to full crowds. There's streaming deals and whatnot, and subscription models to make money, because again, I keep saying it, but it's a career, it's a profession. So these leagues have to make money, right? And one of the biggest ways they do that is through viewership, through ticket sales, through jersey sales, through again, partnering with streaming services that can provide subscriptions. So then people subscribing to watch it. It's easy to say as a player, like, hey, come support us, like, do that. But it's the truth. Like, I think when you look at a lot of these countries, some leagues have their own streaming services, and you pay X amount a month. Some leagues have partnerships with bigger streaming services, and they get thousands and thousands of viewers. They fill arenas with thousands and thousands of fans. So I would say that's.
And we have the Sky Sports now.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's definitely it's like, I mean, like the question says, the league has leveled up. That's the premise of the question. It's just what do you think needs to continue to happen? And I think that is you touched. I hadn't thought about it till you said it, but I think that's a big one. And that's not to say that the people that are there in the stands already aren't doing their job. They are, obviously, they're there, and the people that are watching. But I think to continue to build. And I think that's something the BBL has focused on a bit. Whether they're going about it the right way or not, I don't know. Time will tell. but I think they have focused on reaching bigger audiences. But yeah, I think that's like you said, that's kind of a direction that could see some improvement for sure.
Yeah, I'll say like real quick, like the production of the games has like leveled up crazy, and I think it's almost to the point where like, has it leveled up too much? I don't really know like how to phrase this, but like obviously the streaming for the British Basketball League is free, right? Like sometimes the games are late. Sometimes I think like, as a fan, would I rather just watch this at home if it's like an 8 p.m. game, if I've got my kids, like, you know, like, I think that's a question that kind of needs to be asked a little bit now. Like, obviously the production is so good, bro. Production is amazing now. Like, and that's a great thing. But has it almost leveled up too much? You know what I mean? Like, for me, consuming basketball, like, as a product, like, live is always best. Like, there's so much stuff you see live that you don't see like online.
So let's all do maybe one or two more, and then we move on, and then we'll figure out the time and place to get the rest of these answered. Maybe it's an Instagram live or something, or maybe we just record little bits, or maybe we do a whole part 2 podcast. I don't know. We'll see. But
we'll see.
My question I want to ask to you guys: what's your favorite and least favorite arena you've ever played in, and why? Because I have one in mind for least favorite.
I also have one in mind for least favorite. I'm interested to see if it's.
I'll just start. Matter of fact, since it's already on my mind, I fucking hate playing at Bristol.
Oh, okay.
What a garbage gym, man. Like, I'm not gonna. Everything about playing at Bristol is awful.
Hey,
the walls
play
are
there
blue,
again this season,
which makes no sense. I know, bro. I was literally like. I was telling Tasha, I was like, because in that EMBO league or whatever, like, it's not a home and home like FIBA Cup or Champions League. Like, you play one game against the whole rest of the pool, and it's like they decide whether it's home and away. So when I'm like, okay, first off, what are the odds that we get Bristol in our pool? Second off, what are the odds that they get to host? Man, like, come on, bro. like, bro, it's the worst gym in the world. The floor is not even good. There's no redeeming qualities about Bristol's gym at all. Like, there's nothing that I mean, maybe like it gets loud, but like that favors them. So I don't know.
Shout out to fans.
Yeah, I mean, they have a decently good crowd. But then again, do they? Like, bro, I remember my second year playing there, like there was like fans like in my ear and stuff, which I get it, bro. Like, talk your team up and stuff. But like, come on, I was an MVP last year. I'm going to win MVP again this year. Like, can you just leave me alone, fam? Like, am I the right guy to be talking shit to? Can you pick somebody else? Like, and it's like the blue walls, bro. They always overinflate the basketballs. Their basketballs are so pumped up every year. The rims are super stiff. Like, bro, it's a terrible place to play, man. And then the fans are like, they only have the stands on one side. They just got seats on the other side. And the stands are far back, and it's ugly. It's terrible.
He has been wanting to get this off his chest for years.
As soon as I seen this question, I knew right away. I didn't have any other. I don't even have a second worst, like, least favorite. It's just, I hate Bristol, bro.
Funny.
I mean, shout out to BBL that there's not many places that I hate playing now. Because, showing my age here, but when you guys were in diapers and I was playing the BBL, it was a horror show, bro. There was like one or two places that you wanted to play, and everywhere else you're like, oh gosh. So for me, Plymouth, I just don't like playing there, man.
I was gonna say
there's nothing wrong with the fans, the people, no issue. But something about that court, bro. It like ages me. Like, I finished a game and I'm just like, why are my knees hurting? My knees never hurt. The rims feel like different heights and sizes, and you got to smell they do the fireworks show before the game.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot about Plymouth. I hate playing at Plymouth too.
Just breathing gunpowder for the whole first half.
So Plymouth is my Plymouth is like also my least favorite place to play for all those reasons. But we went there this season, right? And we're warming up. It's like 7 minutes to go till the game, because they put on the whole production that takes like takes like 10 minutes. So it's like 7 minutes to go till the game starts. Bro, tell me why the announcer is on the mic telling dad jokes before the game.
Yeah. Yo, I forgot about that. That's his new
What
thing.
the hell is that about? Like, what actually is that about? Like, I'm trying to get ready for the game, and this guy is, why did the skeleton go to the party? Because he had nobody to go. Like, bro, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the crowd
don't
loves
worry
it.
about
That's
it, bro.
the worst
You can't
part.
appreciate it yet.
Yeah, you'll get there.
Eventually, you'll get there. Because I was like, this is genius. I took my headphones off. I was like, yo, these are funny. I'm writing these down. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I'll use that
Bro,
one.
I was mad. I was so mad.
Yeah. It's not the greatest. And then favorite place to play.
Can we do like a home gym? Like, cause
Yeah.
all right. Well, then home games at Gonzaga were always special. Like,
Ooh,
the
but that was lit.
fans are crazy. And they have like a good basketball understanding too. You know, like some fans, they like my mom. My mom sees the ball go in the hoop. That's good. Nothing else gets applause. Just if the ball goes in the hoop, right? Gonzaga fans, you take a charge, they're losing their mind.
I love it.
A tipped pass out of bounds, they go crazy. Shot clock violation. Oh, dude, it's like Jesus just came back if you get a shot clock violation, right? Like high understanding, and then just like again, like it's seats maybe like 7,000, 8,000, like not huge, so it's really intimate and tight. And just the fans they're crazy. The student section is on their feet the whole game. They don't sit down at all. They're screaming, they're yelling, they got all their chants down. Like it's big time. It's big time.
Love that. That's what you want. That's what makes an arena amazing. It's not the arena, it's
bro,
the people, right?
It was impossible to have a bad home game. Like even if you're not playing well, like you're gonna have so much energy just from the crowd that you're gonna be guarding. Facts. You're gonna be playing defense. You're gonna be making the right plays. Like even if your shots aren't falling, like impossible to have a bad game.
Love that. P?
Yeah, for me, I would say the best place that I played was when Jamell was there. Yeah, we played Latvia away.
Oh my gosh.
12,000 people in this arena, all like on their feet the whole game. And like the moment I really realized was like when they did the national anthem and they didn't play any music. They just had they just let the crowd sing.
Straight
and
singing,
like
bro.
It was straight
it's crazy.
Just straight voices, bro. And like the like goosebumps I got after that was just like, gosh, okay, this is a real away game. Like yeah, it was lit. I loved it, man. Great time.
That was crazy. I'm split. One is obviously Eurobasket. That arena was insane and loud. So that was pretty exciting to be a part of in Italy. But the Blue Crew, shout out the Blue Crew of Townsville Heat in Australia, man. We had like probably about 15, 20 guys on the baseline. The arena was, 360, always packed. But we had the Blue Crew. And as you can imagine, these guys brought it every single game. Like if you, talking about taking a charge, if you took a charge and you slid towards the baseline, the Blue Crew were the ones that were getting you up. It was that type of environment. I'll see if I can try and get a photo sent over. But yeah, shout out Townsville Heat, man. That's one of the most amazing places that I've played. Definitely.
All right, so on to one of the in-depth questions. Like I mentioned, we'll get the rest of our questions answered in one form or another. We've got to decide how we're going to do that, or maybe we leave it up to you guys. What would be the most, or the most well-received way for us to answer the rest of these? Whether that's another pod episode, where we give some more time to the mailbag idea, or whether it's some other avenue. But we are going to move on. Like I said, an in-depth question. So we got one that really stood out. We thought it'd be a great one to end the pod with. Throw some humor in, a little bit of strategy. But the question is, if you had to build the ultimate player out of attributes of the three of you, which bits of each of your games would you put into that player? So again, I like the idea, okay, of we all get to say which parts we're going to take. and then we leave it up to the listeners to vote whose player they think would be the best.
Okay, I like that.
And just to keep it interesting, Pete, we're gonna start with you.
Mm.
Ooh.
You gotta build a basketball player. You can take what? Let's put some parameters. What do we say? One thing about each person?
2.
Yeah.
2? All right, two things about each player.
Yeah.
2 things about each player.
Yep. 2 attributes. Go.
Jamell's arm length and defensive qualities. Is that 2? That'll do.
Yep.
7 foot something.
Let me write this down.
Geno's skill set and temper, because I think that's what makes him great.
Your player is gonna
Tenacity.
be missing a lot of games.
Yes, sir.
A lot of ejection.
And I'm going to go for Patrick Whelan's shooting and celebration. Everyone's seen his celebration.
I like that, Pete. I like that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right, I'll go next.
That's good. That's good.
I'm taking Geno's dribbling ability because I definitely don't have that. I'm also taking Geno's like competitiveness, probably / temper, but I tone it down a little bit. I seen him kick a ball into the crowd, so yeah, I'll tone that down a little bit. I'm taking Jamell's obviously defense, but I'm also taking Jamell's like motor because Jamell runs the floor like no one I've ever seen in my life. I'm taking Pete's brand awareness and his ability to just be a nice guy. I feel like more people would respect me if I was a little bit nicer to everyone. And yeah, I'll stick to the, as we've spoke about, far away from the basket stuff. So I'll take my shooting, and I'll also take my I feel like I'm pretty professional, so I'll take my like professionalism also. Yeah,
I like that.
That's good. That's good.
mm-hmm. It's a good plan.
I worry here if we're all gonna say the same things.
I'm gonna take Pete's ability to see things that others don't.
That's good. That's good.
And Pete's ability to put things into action. I'm gonna take Geno's footwork, and
I appreciate that.
It's the little things, Geno. Not saying you got little feet, but you know. And I'm going to take Geno's competitive nature. I'm going to take Patrick's consistency from shooting behind the arc. And I'm going to take Patrick's IQ. I'll keep my defense and I'll keep my motor. And I feel like I've just created this guy.
Yeah, no, somebody definitely did this same thing to create that guy. He's a lab experiment for sure. Yeah, no way that shit happened on accident. I don't buy it.
No. He was made in the lab for sure.
Can't leave stuff like that up to chance, man. No way. I don't buy it.
Come on, Geno.
All right, my answer. Let me see if I can. Like I said, I feel like we're gonna pick similar things, so I'll try to keep it a little more. I'll start. I'm taking Pat's shooting. We all said it. I'm saying it too. I don't care. Dude shoots like 50% from the 3-point line. Basketball these days, you got to be able to shoot the ball. So I'm taking Pat's shooting 100% every time. For myself, I'm not going to pick my competitiveness or temper because, and here's the only reason why, right? I feel like because of my competitiveness, when I play basketball sometimes, it looks like I'm trying really hard. And I think it looks really cool when you look like you're not trying that hard and you're still really good. So I'm not going to pick that. I will pick my IQ. I feel like I have a really good feel for the game and a good understanding. And I feel like that's valuable for me. So I'll pick that. And I'll pick, let's do ball handling. I'll pick my ability. But I feel like that encompasses more than dribbling too. Like I feel like ball handling includes like passing a little bit. You're still handling the ball.
Yeah.
So if that's a cop out and I picked 3 things, my bad. Back to Pat. I will pick Pat's ability to be bothersome on defense.
Huh.
Bothersome.
Right? Like Pat, he's
Annoying
also
is the word. Annoying.
decently good. No, you're annoying. Pat's just bothersome on defense. He also has a little bit of that ability to like be running and still be like, I seen it when we were with Riders. Like I was surprised because like some shooters aren't great defenders. Like unless you're in the NBA and you're a 3-and-D guy, right? But like Pat would be able to like. Oftentimes I'll be picking up and take away the point guard, and so their second ball handler would bringing the ball up, and I'm just like, oh yeah, get after him, Pat. And like Pat has the ability to do it. Like he's good. He's bothersome. He can slide. He's physical. Can take the bumps. So I'll pick that for Pat. Shooting and bothersome defensive tendencies. For Jamell, I'll take your conditioning. Right? I've never ever seen you get tired. If I can create a player that can play the whole game, they obviously have a better chance to score points. Right? Can't score from the bench. And I will take Jamell's...
Unless you're the captain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I am.
Or I feel like
I'm
I've
also
seen,
scoring from the bench.
I've seen some coaches try and catch the ball on the sideline and pretend like they're gonna shoot it. I'll take Jamell's just size in general, right? Length, size, strength. He's got an NBA body, so I feel like this player is trending towards the NBA. So I need to have them NBA ready, size wise. I'll take Pete's ability to make connections with people and network.
Yes.
All right. Pete's going to make sure that our player is in the rooms that he needs to be in to get us to the NBA and get us all the brand deals. And I'll take Pete's willingness to always get a drink. Right? I want to make sure my player has a good time. I want to make sure he has a good time. He's enjoying life, and he has a drink to be able to take some of the weight off of needing to be the best player in the world.
I like this guy.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a good dude.
Hell yeah.
He does. He does.
No, that
Sounds
was
like
fun.
a
That was
good
fun.
dude.
Create a monster.
As
far as I'm concerned, Wemby is us now.
Yeah. We got the next Wemby. Next Wemby. All right, so that's going to be our wrap for today's mailbag episode. Like I said, we had a ton of questions we didn't get to, so we'll do our best to figure out the best course of action on how to get all of those answered. You guys matter to us immensely, and we don't want to leave any of your questions or any of your topics untouched. With that said, we also had a ton of questions that we received about coaching, and we did not include those in our script for today, because we feel like that coaching and the coaches we've had in their past and the influence they've had on us deserves its own time, its own space, and its own episode. So we will get to that in the very near future. In the meantime, please follow all of our social channels at In the Gap Pod on Instagram and on Twitter. Give us a follow, a like, a subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there. And please continue to subscribe and to share our podcast, which you can receive on any podcasting platform of your choice. For myself, for Jamell, for Pat, and for Pete, one more thank you to everybody who's listening now and who has been listening in the past. We're very appreciative, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Peace.